morning, Star Citizens. It is I, Tuxzillo, and where am I? Well, today I am logging in on my ship, my new ship, in fact. And what ship is it? There's a few clues there in the picture. Do you know what ship it is, or at least what manufacturer? Well, I should put you out of your misery. It is an Anvil Carrack. I've wanted a Carrack for a while. I've ummed and ahed about it, haven't been sure. So I've recently melted a few ships, got the Carrack, and yeah, I'm really quite pleased with it. It's quite different in a way because, and actually that's why I wanted it. This is the shower here. There's actually, yeah, a shower. Obviously not working at the moment, but I like the idea. It's nice what they've done. There's the bathroom, obviously no reflection either, but that's coming. So I do like the Carrack. It's a different way of life with a ship because it's a big ship. It's not really the kind of ship you go and jump in and run and do a mission and come back and put away again. And that's one of the reasons I wanted it, because I wanted to try to start moving towards this kind of gameplay where you're out in your ship for a reasonable amount of time. Like, you don't you keep logging out in your ship and you keep your stuff in your ship and you live from your ship a bit. And I'm not sure whether that mission, that kind of gameplay is really quite ready yet in Star Citizen. I've had a few problems, like the ship despawning if I log back in and haven't been to a station before I go for a mission and things like that. If you put more than 3 vehicles spawned at a ground station, it will despawn the Carrack and things like that. So there's a few issues, but the Carrack is a lovely ship and it's beautifully designed. So I'm going to get up and leave the captain's quarters here in a second, and we are going to go and apparently we're going to go to sell him. So yeah, not sure what that's about, but we're going to do a tour around the Carrack and have a little look at everything on board the ship. So this is the captain's quarters. I like the captain's quarters. They can see selling just outside. That's where we currently are. And I do like these pop-up displays. It would be nice, and I think this is something for CIG. Please make it possible for us to watch TV in the game. So make it so that on these screens we can have YouTube, or we can have even if it's just Star Citizen videos, like the latest Inside Star Citizen, or I would like to sit in my ship and watch Inside Star Citizen in the mess room. How's that? So there's a challenge for you, CIG, if you're listening. Let us watch videos in the ship somehow, some kind of video. It'll come eventually, I'm sure. So yeah, this is the captain's quarters. You've seen the sleeping quarters off to the side. It's quite industrial. It's quite, because it's an ex-military ship. Carracks were originally for the military, so yeah, it's quite basic sort of sleeping area. This is the habitation deck, so deck 2. That's the captain's quarters. That's the rec and canteen, the canteen room, really the rec room on the other side there with the pool table. And then here is the lower bridge, which for me is the main place where you would fly the ship. So this is where you can sit and fly the ship. But the bridge is sort of split over 2 levels, so it's a bit weird. There's like this glass nose cone, and up there is the upper bridge, and there is Selim above us. Actually, this is where I logged out. What I tend to do is fly between 2 orbital markers, stop halfway, and then log out there. So when I log back in, I'm not kind of in the middle of anything. Yeah, so this is the lower bridge. There's 3 seats here. And then on the upper bridge, you'll see in a minute there are other seats and a command station. So you can fly from either the middle seat here or the upper command station. I prefer to use the seat most of the time, but sometimes if I'm just sort of coming out of station, out of Lorville, and then we're going into Quantum, I'll just do the command station. So this is the elevator. As you can see here, the elevator for some reason was not working on this server, so we'll come back to that later when we fix the problem. But this takes you up to the upper deck of the bridge, which we'll see later on. So next we're going to look at the kitchen, the canteen. Some of this stuff doesn't have any purpose at the moment. And when they did a demo of this ship, there was a working coffee machine here, and as you can see, that's gone. That's a shame. I'd quite like to have the coffee machine, you know, it would be quite nice. And also with the Redeemer now, with these cupboards are stocked with drinks and food, I would like that. Why is the Carrack not stocked with drinks and food? Like the Redeemer, they're pretty much the same size cupboards. How hard could it be to bring that feature into the Redeemer quickly, so that when we're living off our ship, we've got cupboards full of food and drink? So over here, we go down again, and there's a toilet here for the crew to use, bathrooms for the crew. So pretty much the same as the captain's bathroom, but or more of a communal space. And in here, we've got the snooker table, so a space snooker, Anvil snooker. I'm hoping at some point in the future that this snooker table is going to be usable. That would be nice. And then we've got the crew quarters. So I think 6 berths in here. So we'll see as he moves around there. Some sitting area. I know, maybe 7 berths. Crew storage areas. Again, they showed clothing being put in and out of this, but that's never made it into the game, which is very disappointing, because the tech obviously exists. They obviously have these things sorted, but they're not bringing them into the game for some reason. There's a lot of things like this. There's a lot of things that have been shown in almost a finished state, and then they've never turned up in the game. So actually 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 berths for crew, and then you've got the captain's berth, so 6 maximum crew can live long term on this ship. So it'd be fantastic to be able to do that and actually have people logging on and off the ship. And yeah. Now, one of the best features of the Carrack is the medical facilities. And actually, it's only at the moment one of 2 in-game ships that are flyable in-game, that actually have these full medical facilities. And the Carrack at the moment has 1 tier 2 medbed, which is this in the middle. And at the moment, it's working as a respawn point. But my understanding is that eventually you won't be able to respawn here, so you can set your imprint, as I am doing there. Set your imprint to the Carrack, and then if you die on a mission, you'll just respawn in your ship, which is, I mean, it's worth it. The ship's worth it just for that right now. But eventually, apparently, it won't have that functionality. It'll only have tier 2 medbed functionality, which is basically healing you from tier 2 injuries. So that's the medical facilities, and this is all on deck 2, which is the Habitation deck, and you can tell by the lighting the way the decks are designed in this ship what they're intended for. So deck 2 is very light and airy and nicely lit and bright, and then when you go down or up to the other decks, they're different. They're more like this, sort of more industrial and grey military feel. So at the back behind, it's the back of the medical bed there, you've got the main elevator, and the main elevator is right at the back of the ship. And that takes you up and down between the top deck, which is the cartography deck, and the bottom deck, which is the sub deck. But really, most of the main... so the elevators were broken, so don't worry, because I'm going to hop servers, and then you'll see the elevators working properly. I think we're back now on a working server. There we go. So yeah, 4 decks, and but most of the things are done on the deck and the Habitation deck. So this is the cartography deck, which is useless at the moment, because the cartography thing, which is this, where you'll be able to plot courses and look for jump points and all this kind of malarkey that the Carrack is for, will take place here. You'll be able to have someone doing that, or you'll be able to do it as the captain of the ship before flying off to those places. But at the moment, deck 4's real only use is to EVA outside the ship. So on deck 4, you've got escape pods there. They don't work yet. There's no escape pods in any ship in the game that work at the moment. And then here you've got the airlock. So when you go into this airlock, then you can see outside. You can see me just hastily equipping a helmet here. Go on, pick a helmet. There we go. So when you go outside, in through here, you can see outside through the window. It's a nice viewing window, and you can see the hangar in front of you where the Pisces, C8 Pisces docks. You can actually dock 2 C8 Pisces. You can dock one in the hangar and one on the hangar doors on top. And if you land on the hangar doors, you can just leave the Pisces there and it will stay attached to the ship. Which is a bit unrealistic, but actually really handy, because it's easier than putting it inside the hangar bay. Just have it on the top. And then back, that's all there is up here. So that's the cartography deck, or the airlock deck, as I like to call it at the moment, because there's no such thing as cartography. So we'll head down now and we'll go to the tech deck. So this is the technical deck, and you can see there the inside of the hangar. So this is the hangar bay. And this is where you will store your... looks like it's open, but it's not really. The doors are actually there. They're closed. They're just not showing up because bugs. But yeah, this is the hangar, and you can fit a couple of small ships in here, but mostly it's designed to fit the C8 Pisces, which is what comes with the game, with the Carrack. And you can upgrade your Pisces, your Carrack, to an Expedition with a C8X, or a Pisces with a C8X. And in here we have the turrets. So we have the port side turret here. So I'm just going to show you good turrets on the Carrack. If you've got a full crew, then it's a very formidable ship. If you haven't, if it's just you, then you're a bit screwed because there's no pilot control weapons. However, it has got good armour, so it'll take an awful lot of beating before the shields go down and the armour goes down on the Carrack. Good shields as well, sorry, and good armour. But you've got 2 Rhino repeaters in each turret as standard. Obviously you can change those, but no need to. Rhinos are fantastic at the moment in the game. And you can take out any small ships pretty easily with the gimbaled weapons in the turret very, very quickly. Yeah, and you can actually, the good thing about the turrets is that they will point even look right forward of the ship. So you can have 2, one on either side facing forward, and the remote turret on the top facing forward, and the turret on the bottom facing forward, all shooting forward. So in that situation with 4 gunners and a pilot, this is a very, very formidable ship. So yeah, you need 4 gunners and a pilot to crew this properly. So 5 people in total. But yeah, fantastic. So for things like the mission, Xenothreat mission, where you're killing the Idris, Carracks are brilliant. Get a Carrack with 4 gunners and you're away, doing a lot of damage. So, back out of the turret again. Turret. Back out of the turret. So, this is, yeah, we've got through there to engineering. So, not quite sure what this section of the Carrack is. It's kind of like an overview of engineering. I'm not quite sure what this is going to be when it comes online, this control unit. What it's going to be for. Whether there's going to be a way to control the engines from here or to control something else. So yeah, not sure about that room yet. And then we've got engineering back here. So we've got the engines. And we've got the lift down to lower engineering. This is the only way into engineering. So you have to come in and out through here. The ladder down to lower engineering. Jump drive, quantum jump drive. Can't open that by the looks of it. Engines, and then down there somewhere is all the other components. We'll have a look at those later. And there's the starboard turrets, the same as the port side turret, just on the other side. And then we're back at the hangar. So let's go forward here. And you'll see there is the panel where you can open the doors. So you'll see now as we open the doors that you can see the doors appear. There we go. Now you can see the doors and then they open. Now the doors were there before. They just had bugged a bit. So they looked like they weren't there. But now as soon as they open, you can see all of the top bits of the cartography deck there. And then we're going to shut the doors again, because we're not bringing a Pisces in. This is, again, one of the best features of the Carrack, and what I would like to be able to do is to leave the Carrack in orbit, get in the Pisces and go down and do a mission. But at the moment, we can do that, but the chances of the Pisces, of the Carrack despawning are fairly high. So I feel like I don't want to do that because I'm worried that the Carrack will despawn. So there's people saying, okay, so here's the drone room. So this is, again, one of the really exciting parts of the Carrack that's not in the game yet. There's going to be able to have 2 drones, which will launch from those 2 compartments there, and 2 drone operators here who will operate the drones. So again, you're going to be able to park your Carrack up somewhere and send drones in to either do a mission, maybe to retrieve some data, to do some photography, something like that, or to go and scout an area. So to go and scout a bunker before we launch a ground assault or the Pisces or whatever, to go and take the bunker or to go and do the mission. All of this would be usable right now if it was here. This is the repair room. So there's obviously a little box that you're going to be able to put your ship component in, maybe to repair, or guns or things like that, scanning tools, a workbench for repair. So this will allow the Carrack to be able to do repairs on its own components when it's out exploring in deep space. And here is the upper bridge, as we talked about before. So there's again here escape pods for the crew, not working as of yet. And then there's the elevator shaft, which now hopefully the elevator will be working. There it is, working on this server. There's 2 seats here for, that one's for a remote turret, so you can jump in there and go on the top remote turret, and that one for another radio operator or whatever you want. There is in the middle here another sort of star field cartography planning station. Maybe it will mirror what's on the other one. And here we have the upper command station, and it's a really cool way, especially entering and leaving port. This is a great place to fly the ship. And there you can see that you can fly the ship from here just the same as you can from the seat down below. If you're going to fly for a long time, maybe the seat will be better, but maybe the upper command station is just meant for the captain to have control of the ship while leaving and entering port. It's a great view from up there. So yeah, that's the upper bridge. We're going to go back now into the tech deck. So this is deck 3. This is the tech deck. So we've looked at deck 4, cartography, deck 3, tech deck, deck 2, which is the sub deck, and now we're going to take the front elevator. So this is the elevator that is right near to the entrance, the hangar bay entrance, the vehicle hangar entrance, and goes up all the floors to the tech deck, not to the cartography. So you can see here we have the cargo area. Let's go back that way first. So these are the cargo pods, big cargo pods here on the Carrack that will take 456 SCU, if I remember correctly. And in the future, these cargo pods are going to be droppable and exchangeable for other pods. So you may choose to carry a cargo pod or one that's particularly stores for the craft. Maybe it can increase your storage capacity. And then another one maybe will be an extended medical bed, or some kind of dormitory unit for having a larger squad of Marines or something on board. There's the rear elevator. You can see that goes up to on the left and right here that I'm not actually looking at right now. Yeah, that's the elevator. Yeah, it's in an elevator shaft. So we are going to look at it now. Here we go. So here is the what I call the ready room sort of area. So these are armor storage for suits of armor or EVA suits. They're not functioning yet. Be nice when we get them functioning. And here we have 2 big weapons lockers, one on each side. And I like to keep my made up guns with all my attachments on in here ready to go. No, it wasn't quite sorted at that point when you saw that. And there's one on either side, and I leave the one on the left hand side free for a friend when they join, so they can put gear in there and have their gear available. If you had a large crew, you could have one segment of the weapons locker each. And here we're in the underneath turret now. And if we can turn it on. There we go. So there we can get a nice view. Again, it's 2 rhinos. It's a similar sort of turret to all the other ones. And that'll cover the rear and underneath of the ship. I'm not sure whether that one will point forward as well. Not sure whether I'm going to try. Yes, it will. So they will all face forward. So again, pretty good, really. That's a total of 8 size 4 weapons, all controlled by humans. If you've got a crew, that's enough to take down almost anything pretty quickly. So yeah, nothing else here except the rear turret on the sub-level. And there's the other weapons locker. Going back round again. Yeah, we've just come from there. And round again. And yeah, there's the other weapons locker. There it is. Various random weapons in there. You don't lose the weapons when you store the ship. So if you go and store the ship, or you log out, or if you store the ship at Lawville, everything that's on the ship, including the weapons in the weapon lockers, will persist at this point. However, if you have to claim the ship, you will lose the weapons that are stored in the weapon lockers, which is problematic at the moment. But I'm hoping eventually that we won't have to keep claiming the ship. You know, once things get a bit more sorted, there won't be a need for... The ships won't need to keep disappearing. The ships won't need to keep despawning. That won't happen, and therefore we won't need to keep claiming our ship. In theory, if we die and our ship is left somewhere, we just go back and pick up the ship. There will be no need to... unless the ship is destroyed, in which case you're losing everything anyway. There will be no need to... keep claiming the ship because it's on a planet surface and somewhere, but you can't get back to it because it's on a different server and all that. So yeah, definitely we were in need of persistence in order to stop all this claiming and losing of stuff. At the moment though, it's quite easy to get stuff. So this is the vehicle bay. This is the only entrance and exit to the ship, which is a complete ridiculous farce in my opinion. But this is the vehicle garage. So you can store anything that will fit in here. You could probably get another Pisces in here. Or an Ursa rover, which of course the Carrack comes with a Pisces and an Ursa rover, and even has this amazing ramp that you can pop up there so that you can only drive your Ursa rover in the correct distance. I really like that feature, and it gives you... It's a really immersive feature. It's exactly what a ship would have in it. There's no need to put that in the game, but it just makes it so much better that it has it. And then there's this ladder which allows you to run up to the tech deck, and it brings you out on the tech deck, and it basically means that you can quickly get to the bridge. So if you're running in, having done a quick mission in a landing zone, you can run, as we are here, to the bridge, to the command station, and we're going to go back down the elevator, and you're there quickly. Personally, I tend to take the elevator because I prefer to go to the hab deck. So here we are back on the hab deck, and we're just going to pop back to the main elevator and look around. So again, as I said earlier, what I really don't like is the fact that there's only one entrance and exit to this ship, and there's 2 elevators, either of which could go all the way to the ground. I'd rather the main elevator didn't go all the way to the ground, but the front elevator, the person elevator, it could easily just come out the bottom of the ship and go to ground, just as it does on the C2 Hercules, just as it does on the Argo Raft, just as it does on many, many ships. Why does it not do it on the Carrack? I cannot believe that they haven't thought of this. I cannot believe that when this ship was concepted, when it was created, that nobody thought, oh, hang on a minute, we need a door that goes out other than the main vehicle door. These are all the areas for, you'll see the shield generator in here. There we go. There's one of the shield generators. There's a couple of them. The jump drive, the quantum drive, the power plant is in this one. Yeah, there's just all, there you go. There's the power plant. It's just a default one, that. But again, you can change all these components out. There's not a lot of point at the moment. I've changed the quantum drive because frankly, the one that's default is very, very slow. So just put a TS2 in and be done with it, because there's plenty of quantum fuel in this beast. And then either side here, I think, are the coolers and the fuel tanks. In those doors, they're the engines. And then, yeah, through these doors here, you'll see we have one of the coolers there. And on the other side, they're the fuel tank. So fuel tank B, you can't do anything with the fuel tank. It's just there for show, really. Quite nice, though. It's very, again, nicely designed ship. A lot of thought has gone into the ship, and also a lot of detail. Everything is very nicely detailed, beautifully designed. There's fuel tank A, cooler A. Again, just the default at the moment. There's no real point in upgrading any of these components at the moment in the state of the game how it is, because other than the quantum drives and the shields, there's not really a huge amount of difference. And even the shields, the difference is so minimal, whereas previously some of the shields regened faster, some of them had more hit points available. You know, there was all sorts of differences, and now pretty much nothing. There's just no point other than put the fastest quantum drive that you can sensibly use with the quantum fuel tank size of the vehicle, and put the largest shields in if you just want to spend money. But I mean, the shields on this are fantastic anyway. And there's all sorts of panels and opening things that don't open. I don't know whether they will eventually or not. But yeah, I'd like to see another pass on this ship. I'd like to see a gold pass on this ship. I'd like to see it brought up to gold standard, all the panels done properly, like so underneath the ship where you enter the ship at the moment. It's just the old writing where you click on the writing and the thing opens, whereas all these other panels are these sort of newer standard, gold standard panels. So yeah, it's a shame that it's not fully sorted, but it's mostly done. And the doors, again, the medical bay doors, you have to click on them, open door. Why? Just open as we approach them like all the other doors in the ship. Doesn't make any sense at all. So yeah, this is the back of the lower bridge here. And I do like the chairs. They're very functional. They're very industrial looking, but they're also very functional looking. I like the general setup. Bit weird with the split bridge and having only these 3 seats down here and then other things on the top. I'm not 100% sure about that. And then you've got the server cabinets here that eventually there's going to be things we can do with them, putting different blades in them and things like that apparently. And then yeah, there's going to be all sorts of things upgraded over time on the ship to a more working fashion. But yeah, all in all, I really like this ship. I'm glad I've got it. And I'll be very excited to see how it evolves over time as Star Citizen becomes more fleshed out. I'm enjoying using it in the game now. I'm enjoying having my own flying base. And I just wish that we could get to a point where persistence was more of a thing and everything persisted and I didn't have to worry about it despawning all the time. Please like and subscribe. Please support the channel, and it helps massively if you do so. And this is me, Talk Brazillo, signing out, and I'll see you again soon in the verse.